it's Cassidy. This week, I wanted to walk you through a page from the book Jewel House of Art and Nature. If you'll remember, we are going through this book here on YouTube periodically. Right now, I want to walk you through Hugh Plat's wonderful solution, literally, for how to cheat at cards in the 16th century using a mirror. If you're excited to find out how that works and see how you can try it for yourself, then hang on, because we're going to try it right now. So one of the things I do like about recording on Zoom is that I can screen share over to my computer here while we're talking, and I want to show y'all this. Okay, so this is the Wellcome Collections copy of Jewel House of Art and Nature by Hugh Plat. You can see the date over there. It was written in 1594. Let me see if I can make myself bigger here so you can see me. So I'm going to put my face over that because we're actually going to be talking about this document here. But so this is page 30 of 124. That's digital counting pages. If you'll look right at the left, see if right there, you see the number 2. So this is actually the second in a list of things that Hugh Plat is talking about. This book is all about a manual of how to do various things. And he has a list of, it's a wide variety of things. But today I wanted to see if we could try and do this one ourselves. And I think I'm going to end up just telling you about it because I tried to finagle this crazy thing and I couldn't quite make it work, but I couldn't not tell you about it either because it's the wildest thing. So let's dive in. He talks about how to create a perspective ring that will discover all the cards that are near him that weareth it on his finger. So he's talking about you're sitting there, you're playing cards with somebody, and he wants you to put a mirror on your hand that will let you see the cards of the other people that you're playing with and cheat at cards. And he goes on to say, here's how you're supposed to do it, right? So you take a crystal stone. If I can scroll down slowly, you take a crystal stone or a glass of the bigness of a 2-penny piece of silver. Let's just take a minute and the bigness of it as opposed to the size. Anyway, the bigness of a 2-penny piece of silver. Now I've got a $50 here that my son made me promise not to lose because they don't make them anymore, but it's a $50. And so it'd be somewhere like a 2-penny piece of silver, somewhere between this and a quarter. So here's my hand and there's that. And I guess my glasses, my eyeball. So it's a little bit bigger than your eye. So, not inconspicuous at all. If you're going to be wearing this on your hand to tell. So he goes on to talk about how you're supposed to create this kind of ring or on your hand, right? So you take this round ball or globe and cut a hollow out of it, having a good soil sweetly conveyed within the concave superficies thereof. So it's basically like you're cutting out this shape that's going to hold it, and then you can put it on your hand. And then he goes on to say that if you're playing cards with your other companions, you're supposed to hold your arm out, and he specifically suggests leaning now and then on your elbow. Okay. Leaning now and then on your elbow, or stretch out your arm to apply the ring for this purpose. I'm quoting from this now, okay? He's talking about you're supposed to stretch out. Can you imagine sitting across from somebody at the table playing cards and you're just suddenly... I don't know how. You're going to have to be really slick to pull this off. David Blaine could probably do it. I don't think I could just attach a mirror or reflective device to my ring and be able to effectively cheat at cards. Maybe you can. I don't know. But I went on and the rest of that. So he talks about how to do it. And the how to do it is very short. You're supposed to create a ring and attach a piece of silver to your hand and then sit funny while you're playing so that you can see the cards of the other players. Because, they're either going to be totally onto what you're doing or they're going to think you're having a stroke. There's no in between there. But what's hilarious about this diagram or this thing that he writes on is he goes on to talk about how he says, I have discovered this secret to discourage young novices from card play. So like, for shame, who by one experience may easily guess how many heights. I don't know what COSONAGES means, but like games are, because he goes on to say, are daily practiced in our dicing and gaming houses, not doubting but the general publication thereof will make the fame so familiar with all men that I shall not justly be charged of any to have taught old knaves new school points. So essentially, cheating at cards is something that you should have been taught in elementary school by your slightly disreputable friends, but he doesn't feel like he should take any blame for teaching people how to cheat, because people should already know it. But he goes on to specifically call out the French, and he says this secret is as yet merely French. Oh my gosh, merely French. I'm sorry to everyone who is French, but it has been long since either denized or made English, if there could have been found any sufficient workmen amongst us that could have. Now I've lost the next page. What do you say next, Sir Hugh? Let me scroll down. That could have soiled the stone so artificially as it ought to be. There be some English knights that can sufficiently testify to the truth hereof by that which they have seen among the French gamesters. So he makes it sound like there's a lot of history truths that you can uncover here. Firstly, cards were definitely being played. People were definitely cheating at cards. And it just sounds like they're totally blaming the French for being con artists and saying this is the French way of sitting at a table. You know, the French brought this in, which is funny because if you've watched our episode on French playing cards, you'll know that the import of French cards was actually banned in England at one point to try and bolster the sale of English cards. So it's funny to me, and there's definitely some history to unpack there about the fact that there's a direct association with France, French, and gaming, specifically card gaming. But anyway. So there you have it. That is one of Hugh Plat's ways to cheat at cards using a mirror on your ring. If you try this, please share pictures of you and how you figured out how to attach your cheating ring there to your hand. And if you enjoy doing hands-on activities and looking at some of things like this from the past, then please hit like and subscribe, because we're here every week with more fun just like this one. And be sure to check out some of the videos that are on the screen right now, where we have checked out other card games, and especially this one where I do talk specifically about card games and French influence on the, what's it called? Design, illustration on cards. Yes. So you can check that out on this video as well. And then of course, join us on Patreon for even more activities. I've got activity kits and history guides to several specific card games from Shakespeare's lifetime. So if you're into that kind of stuff, check it out over there. I'll be back next week with more history you can try out for yourself. And that's it for this time. I'm Cassidy Cash, and I hope you learned something new about the Bard. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.